What if your greatest weaknesses weren't roadblocks, but hidden gateways to your true power? Imagine waking up each day not overwhelmed by procrastination, self-doubt, or restless habits, but instead equipped with a clear mind and indomitable spirit to conquer whatever life throws at you. This isn't some vague self-help fluff. This is the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, lifting the veil on the secret within all of us. In this journey, you'll discover the bold first step, staring your vulnerabilities right in the eye and embracing them, not as chains, but as the very fuel for your mental strength. Drawing from Marcus Aurelius's profound humility, you'll learn why acknowledging your imperfections is the courageous heart of growth, not weakness. Then you'll unlock the power to master your reactions, a sacred Stoic space where you alone control the pause between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. Within this pause lies true freedom, breaking the cycles of impulsive frustration and self-sabotage. But awareness and control are just the beginning. Like a seasoned athlete, your mind must be trained daily, deliberately, persistently, so that you face life's challenges with resilience rather than retreat. You'll see how even small chosen discomforts become secret weapons, forging a mental armor that nothing can shatter. Because Stoicism teaches us that fleeing from pain weakens us, yet voluntarily meeting it, however small, steels our spirit for the storms ahead. And at the core of it all, a purpose so clear and deeply rooted that it transforms every struggle into meaning, every setback into motivation. Without this guiding North Star, we drift vulnerable. With it, we unlock an unstoppable inner force, grounded in values and unwavering intention. By the end, you won't just understand these truths, you'll feel inspired to live them daily, reshaping your mind, your habits, and your very life. This is more than philosophy. It's a call to action, an invitation to crush your weaknesses and unleash the hidden power that has always been waiting within you. Are you ready to begin? If this is making sense to you so far, if these ideas are resonating with a quiet truth you felt but perhaps couldn't articulate, take a moment to like this video and consider sharing it with someone in your life who might benefit from hearing this message. We've talked about the courage it takes to look your weaknesses in the eye, to acknowledge your imperfections not as flaws to hide, but as the very fertile ground from which growth can spring. We've explored the profound freedom that comes from mastering your reactions, from seizing that sacred pause between what happens to you and how you choose to respond. But awareness and control, as crucial and life-altering as they are merely the foundational steps. They are like learning the rules of a game. To truly excel, to embody the indomitable spirit and resilience we speak of, your mind must be trained daily, deliberately, persistently. Think of it like a seasoned athlete. An athlete doesn't just know how to run or lift, they train. They show up day after day, pushing their limits, enduring discomfort, building strength, not just in their muscles, but in their mental fortitude. Your mind, too, is a muscle, and it demands the same rigorous, consistent training. It needs reps. It needs to be challenged, not coddled, if it's to develop the resilience required to face life's inevitable storms. This isn't some abstract concept. It's a practical, actionable path to mental strength. One of the most potent tools in the Stoic arsenal for this mental training is a practice often referred to as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Now, before you dismiss this as some form of morbid pessimism, understand its true power. This isn't about dwelling on negative possibilities to attract them. It's about proactively rehearsing adversity in your mind so you're not caught entirely off guard when life inevitably throws a curveball. It's about building an internal shock absorber. Imagine for a moment the things you fear losing: your job, a significant relationship, your health, your reputation. Most people instinctively recoil from these thoughts, pushing them away, hoping they'll never manifest. But this avoidance leaves us utterly unprepared. When a sudden layoff notice lands on your desk, or a loved one walks away, or a diagnosis shifts your world, the shock alone can be devastating, let alone the actual event. The Stoic approach, however, invites you to gently, rationally consider these possibilities. What if you lost your job tomorrow? How would you react? What would be within your control? Your financial plans certainly, but more importantly, your attitude, your resourcefulness, your ability to adapt. Would you descend into panic and self-pity, or would you see it as an opportunity to reassess your path, to learn new skills, to exercise your virtues of courage and perseverance? What if a relationship ended? Would you allow bitterness to consume you, or would you practice temperance in your emotional responses, cultivating wisdom in understanding the impermanence of all external things, and justice in how you treat the other person, even in separation? This isn't about wishing for these things to happen. It's about preparing your mind for them. It's about stripping away the element of surprise from suffering, thereby diminishing its power to overwhelm you. By mentally rehearsing these challenges, you create a psychological buffer. You realize that while the events themselves may be undesirable, your capacity to navigate them, to maintain your inner equilibrium, remains intact. This practice builds a deep, quiet confidence that whispers, "I can handle this." It transforms fear of the unknown into a grounded sense of preparedness. The mind, once a prisoner of anxiety over what might happen, becomes a fortress, ready to meet whatever comes. But mental rehearsal is only one part of the training. Like a seasoned athlete, your mind must also experience actual, though often chosen and small, discomforts. The Stoics understood that constantly fleeing from pain and perpetually seeking comfort creates a fragile spirit. Seneca, one of the great Roman Stoics, famously advised, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself at the time, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" This is the practice of voluntary hardship, and its wisdom resonates powerfully in our modern, comfort-obsessed world. We live in an age designed for ease. Our phones deliver information instantly. Our food arrives at our doorstep. Our entertainment is boundless, and any minor inconvenience is often seen as an affront. While seemingly benign, this constant pursuit of comfort makes us soft, brittle, and intolerant of even the slightest friction. We become upset by slow internet, frustrated by traffic, agitated by a brief wait in line. These trivial irritations shouldn't have the power to derail our peace, yet they often do. The Stoic antidote? Deliberately, periodically, step outside your comfort zone. Engage in chosen discomforts. This isn't about self-flagellation or denying yourself pleasure for the sake of it, but rather about strengthening your inner core. Consider practical applications in your own life. Take a cold shower, not just for the health benefits, but for the sheer act of choosing discomfort. When that icy spray first hits, your instinct screams to retreat, to seek warmth. But if you hold firm, if you breathe through it, you prove to yourself that you can override primal impulses. You build a micro-muscle of endurance and self-mastery. Practice intentional fasting. Again, beyond any dietary goals, it's an exercise in controlling your appetites. When hunger pangs arise, rather than immediately reaching for a snack, observe them. Understand that you are not beholden to every craving. You are the master of your desires, not their slave. This strengthens your willpower and reminds you of your inherent resilience. Choose the stairs instead of the elevator. Walk to a nearby store instead of driving. Postpone instant gratification. Wait 5 minutes before checking your phone. Finish a task before allowing yourself a break. These are small acts, almost insignificant on their own, but cumulatively, they forge a mental armor that nothing can shatter. Each chosen discomfort is a rivet in that armor, a testament to your growing inner strength. Why does this work? Because it systematically proves to you that you can handle more than you think you can. It exposes our deep-seated addiction to convenience and our often irrational fear of anything that feels difficult. When you willingly choose a small hardship, you are essentially telling your mind, "See, this isn't so bad. I can not only endure this, but I can thrive within it." When true hardship inevitably strikes, the lost job, the illness, the unexpected challenge, your mind defaults not to panic, but to a quiet knowing. I've handled discomfort before. I can handle this. I've felt this resistance, and I know how to push through. This proactive embrace of discomfort steels your spirit for the storms ahead, transforming potential weakness into an unshakable inner resolve. This mental training is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Stoicism isn't an intellectual exercise to be pondered in an armchair. It's a way of life, a philosophy for the trenches of everyday existence. Just like physical training requires consistency, mental training demands persistent effort. This means cultivating daily habits that reinforce your resilience. Start your day with purpose. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, take a few moments to set intentions. Review the Stoic principles that resonate with you. What virtues will you embody today? How will you respond to challenges? How will you exercise control over your judgments and reactions? This isn't about rigid adherence, but about mindful engagement with your own development. End your day with reflection. The Stoics encouraged an evening review, a mental accounting of the day. Where did you act in accordance with your values? Where did you lose your temper or succumb to an impulse? What could you have done better? This isn't about self-criticism, but self-assessment, a continuous feedback loop for growth. Journaling can be an incredibly powerful tool here, allowing you to articulate your thoughts, observe your patterns, and plan for improvement. The truth is, we are always practicing something. If we aren't deliberately practicing self-control, resilience, and rational judgment, we are inadvertently practicing impulsivity, reactivity, and a dependence on external circumstances. The mind, like a garden, will grow something. If you don't plant good seeds and tend to them, weeds will inevitably take over. Choose wisely what you practice, because what you practice daily, you become. Even small acts of self-discipline accumulate into monumental mental strength. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. But to truly revoke that estimate, to calmly reassess and reframe your perception, requires discipline. Start with the small, controllable acts, getting up when your alarm rings, finishing a task you committed to, resisting a fleeting craving, even for just a few minutes. These aren't just isolated acts. They are repetitions for your willpower, building momentum for larger, more significant challenges. This deliberate self-discipline is not about being rigid or ascetic for its own sake, but about cultivating a profound inner freedom. The freedom to choose your response, to act in alignment with your highest self, regardless of external pressures. But even with the strongest mental training and the most disciplined practice, something more is needed to truly transform weakness into power. A purpose so clear and deeply rooted that it transforms every struggle into meaning, every setback into motivation. Without this guiding North Star, we drift, vulnerable to the whims of fortune, easily swayed by external opinions and transient desires. With it, we unlock an unstoppable inner force, grounded in unwavering values and intentional action. For the Stoics, this core purpose, or telos, was to live in accordance with nature. And for rational beings like humans, nature meant living in accordance with reason and virtue. This isn't a vague, New Age concept, it's a deeply practical one. It implies that our highest calling is not to accumulate external possessions or achieve fleeting fame, but to cultivate our character, to act with excellence in all that we do. Virtue, in the Stoic sense, isn't about moralizing, it's about optimal human functioning. It's about cultivating wisdom, the ability to discern what is good, bad, or indifferent. Justice, treating others fairly and contributing to the common good. Courage, facing fear and acting with integrity. And temperance, self-control and moderation in all things. These are not merely admirable traits. They are the skills that enable us to navigate life's complexities with grace and effectiveness. For a Stoic, virtue is the only true good, because it is entirely within our control and is the sole determinant of our inner tranquility. Everything else, health, wealth, reputation, pleasure, even life itself, is considered an indifferent. These external things can be preferred or dispreferred, but they don't make us good or bad in themselves. They are merely raw material upon which we can practice virtue. Why is having such a clear, virtue-aligned purpose so utterly crucial? Because without it, you are a ship without a rudder, tossed about by every changing tide. You become vulnerable to external validation, to the approval of others, to the allure of material possessions, to the fear of loss. Your self-worth becomes tethered to things outside your control, leaving you constantly exposed to anxiety and disappointment. Your purpose, when it's rooted in virtue, provides an unshakable North Star in a chaotic and unpredictable world. When external events invariably go wrong, when setbacks hit, when disappointments sting, your purpose gives meaning to the struggle. It transforms what might otherwise be soul-crushing adversity into profound opportunities for growth. Consider that job loss again. If your purpose is purely external, to be rich, to hold a prestigious title, then losing that job is devastating. Your identity shatters. But if your purpose is internal, to contribute meaningfully to society, to live with integrity and diligence, to practice resilience, then the job loss, while challenging, becomes an arena in which to exercise those very virtues. It's an opportunity to practice courage in seeking new paths, wisdom in reevaluating your direction, temperance in managing your emotions, and justice in your interactions with former colleagues. The struggle doesn't just happen to you, it becomes a catalyst for you. It's how you transform every struggle into meaning, every setback into motivation. So, how do you identify your own North Star, this deeply rooted purpose? It's not necessarily about finding a unique, individual purpose in some grand, ego-driven sense. It's about aligning yourself with universal virtues and understanding your role as a rational, social being in the larger community of humanity. Begin with deep self-reflection. What values do you truly hold dear, independent of what society tells you to value? What kind of person do you genuinely want to be, regardless of your external circumstances or achievements? Do you aspire to be honest, kind, diligent, fair, calm, rational, courageous? These are the building blocks of your inner citadel. Your purpose is not about what you get, but who you become. Then consider your contribution. Stoicism is a deeply communal philosophy. Your purpose isn't just for your own well-being. It's about how you can contribute to the common good, how you can be a beneficial member of the human community. How can you apply your unique skills, talents, and virtues to serve others, to make the world a slightly better place? This doesn't require grand gestures. It can be found in showing kindness to a stranger, offering help to a friend, or performing your job with integrity and excellence. Finally, ground your purpose in what you can control: your intentions, your efforts, your character. These are sovereign. Your purpose should be rooted in these internal goods, not in external outcomes, which are never entirely within your grasp. When your purpose is tied to external validation or uncontrollable results, you hand your power away. When it is tied to your virtue and character, your power is unassailable. Living with this clear purpose requires practical, daily alignment. Your mental training becomes the engine for this alignment. In your morning reflections, don't just set intentions for the day, but ask, what kind of virtuous person do I want to be today? How will I embody courage, justice, wisdom, and temperance in my interactions and tasks? How will I contribute? Throughout the day, practice conscious check-ins. Before making an important decision, or when faced with a challenging situation, pause and ask yourself, does this action align with my highest values? Am I acting from reason and purpose, or from impulse and external pressure? This simple question acts as a powerful filter, guiding you toward actions that reinforce your true self. And in your evening review, reflect not only on what went well or poorly, but specifically on where you lived up to your values and where you faltered. Did you react with patience or anger? Did you act with integrity or compromise? This isn't about judgment, but about course correction. Each day is a fresh opportunity to refine your alignment, to walk more closely with your purpose. Journaling can be an invaluable tool here, allowing you to articulate your core values, observe the instances where you deviated, and consciously plan for better alignment tomorrow. Seek out role models, not to imitate them perfectly, but to observe how others embody the virtues you admire, and let their examples inspire your own path. When your intention is pure, aimed at virtue, and your purpose is clear, rooted in what is truly good and within your control, even external failures cannot diminish your inner success. You are no longer defined by the outcome, which is often beyond your reach, but by the effort, the integrity, and the character you displayed. This understanding is the ultimate inner fortress. It is where your true power resides, a power that springs not from external validation, or fleeting triumphs, but from within, from your unwavering choices and your deeply cultivated intentions. So we return to where we began, to the profound premise. What if your greatest weaknesses weren't roadblocks, but hidden gateways to your true power? You now understand that this isn't an empty promise, but a practical philosophy for living. The procrastination you struggle with can become an opportunity to cultivate diligence. Your self-doubt, a chance to forge self-trust through consistent action. Your restless habits, an invitation to master temperance and present moment awareness. The very things that seem to hold you back are in fact the raw material for your transformation. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, captured this profound truth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The weaknesses you perceive are not barriers to be circumvented, but rather the path itself. They are the challenges that, when confronted with courage, controlled with deliberate intention, trained against with daily discipline, and viewed through the lens of a higher purpose, become the very means by which you unlock your indomitable strength. So I ask you, what weakness have you been running from? What hidden gateway awaits your courage and your conscious choice? What small, deliberate step will you take today to embrace your path, to confront what stands in your way, and to begin unleashing the hidden power that has always been waiting within you? If this exploration of Stoic wisdom has sparked something within you, if it's given you a new perspective on facing life's challenges, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more insights, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What weakness are you ready to transform into strength?